In 1347, the port city of Kaffa on the Crimean Peninsula became one of the first known sites of intentional disease spread in human history. Mongol forces besieging the city reportedly catapulted the bodies of plague victims over the walls, attempting to infect those inside. Historians consider this one of the earliest documented cases of biological warfare, though its effectiveness is uncertain. It shows just how terrifyingly strategic disease could be, even without any understanding of germs. When the plague arrived in Europe, it traveled primarily via trade routes. Ships docking at ports like Messina, Sicily, often carried crew members who were already dead or gravely ill. Survivors were described as covered in black swollen buboes, sometimes leaking pus or blood. So what exactly was the Black Death? The disease was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, which naturally lives in rodents and their fleas. Humans typically became infected through flea bites, contact with infected animals, or airborne respiratory droplets in the case of pneumonic plague. There were three main forms of the disease. Bubonic plague, the most common, caused painful swollen lymph nodes called buboes, along with fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, and joint pain. Septicemic plague attacked the bloodstream directly, leading to internal bleeding, organ failure, and in severe cases, acral necrosis, where fingers, toes, and even noses turned black and died as the blood supply shut down. Death could occur within a single day. Pneumonic plague, the deadliest form, infected the lungs and could spread from person to person through coughing, killing nearly everyone it touched within days. Desperate to survive, people tried nearly anything. Records describe remedies including drinking crushed emeralds or arsenic, bathing in urine, or smearing human feces on the body. None of these had any effect, and some likely hastened death. Fear also produced extreme social behaviors. Groups called flagellants traveled from town to town, whipping themselves with metal-tipped lashes until they bled, believing public penance could appease God's wrath. Some areas' entire towns joined the ritual, leading to chaos, looting, and riots. Authorities eventually banned the practice to restore order. Animals were not spared. Livestock and pets died in huge numbers, leaving farms barren. In England, the deaths of so many sheep caused a national wool shortage, affecting trade and the economy for decades. Even the symbols we associate with the plague are often misunderstood. The iconic beaked plague doctor masks filled with aromatic herbs to filter miasma were invented in 1619, long after the Black Death ended. Yet they remained the haunting image of the pandemic. Even the seemingly innocuous nursery rhyme "Ring-a-ring-a roses" is often linked to the plague, but historians largely debunk this connection. The rash described does not match plague symptoms, and the rhyme was first recorded centuries later, reflecting general folklore rather than historical fact. By the end of the Black Death, roughly 25 to 50% of Europe's population had died, an estimated 75 to 200 million people worldwide. Survivors were more likely to possess immune genes that offered resistance to infectious diseases. The Black Death was not just a disease. It was a biological force that transformed humanity, revealing the fragility of life, society, and civilization.